Hi, good morning, all. Let's start the today's session.
Good morning, sir.
Just for a recap, in the yesterday's session, we are just seeing the introduction of Dynamics 365, how to start with this Dynamics 365 regarding the licenses, and what are the admin centers we have in Dynamics CRM, that is Power Platform Admin Center, in short, PPAC, Microsoft 365 Admin Center, and Azure. These are the three admin centers which we are going to work with these admin centers in your real-time experience or in your projects and all. And some of the terminology, tenant, environment, instances, organization, URL, GUID, deployment, these are the regular things which you are going to see in the while you are working with this admin centers and all. Regarding the tenant, I just in the yesterday's session, I just given some glance on what is single tenant architecture and what is multi-tenant architecture, just for the basic idea how Dynamics CRM was maintaining this particular servers and all. And to understand the deployment, I just given this is like different instances. Any company can go through with this type of different instances where different type of consultants or employees are working there. Developers in developer instance or QA in QA instance in that way. The process of moving the solution from one instance to another instance is nothing but a deployment where the solution can be moved from start development to the production point. So this is like deployment, which we are discussing yesterday. And to start with the instances or to create any environment in Dynamics CRM, we need to go with some create a trial instance that we are going to see in today's session. After creating a trial account with the Dynamics CRM with the Microsoft, the first place where we need to start it is Power Platform Admin Center. This Power Platform Admin Center, which is used to create environments or to manage or restore or delete the environments, everything, the operations is carried out in Power Platform Admin Center. This is the URL for the Power Platform Admin Center, that is admin.powerplatform.com. It will redirect you to admin.powerplatform.microsoft.com. And in the short, you can also go with aka.ms/ppack. So this is universal. I mean to say, if you are working with some ABC company and some other employees working for 123 company, so you no need to remember your organization URL every time. So I mean to say, this is your organization URL. Let's say some consultant is working with BMW and some other with some other client. So you may not require to remember the org URL. Simply, you can use this admin.powerplatform.com or aka.ms/ppack and provide your username and password. In a simple way, if you want to log into the Gmail account, gmail.com, and with your username and password will redirect to your inbox, right? In the same way, in Dynamics CRM, the same unique URL with your credentials, it will take you to your organization instances and all, right? Otherwise, you can also access the instance with login.microsoftonline.com. This will take you to your direct website where which we are going to see in the today's session. Right, this is to directly, if you want to access your admin panel, you can use these two, or if you want to access your org URLs and you are not aware of what is your organization URL and all, so you can simply go with this login.microsoftonline.com, and providing your username and password will take you to your particular instance or environment, right? And this Microsoft 365 Admin Center, which is used to create users and their licenses. And yesterday we are discussing about the version number. This is the current version of Microsoft, where we can see this version number in Power Platform Admin Center. You can open the environment, particular environment, there it shows the version details. Otherwise, in the same URL or in your same organization, you can also see from the settings here, the about section. Here you could see what is your version and all. This is the version which we are discussing. So to explore this version, first we need to understand how these versions will be. I mean to say, how frequently the Microsoft will keep on updating their product. As a consultant, this is very important for us to understand. Why? Because the client or your customer or your client may be in different region, and you may be serving your client from different regions. I mean to say, let's take a BMW. BMW is an automobile. They have the sales throughout the globe, right? Now, the BMW was using the dynamic CRM with the different instances they are using. For Indian sales, they have the data center, they have separate data center in the India. Some of the instances they are maintaining in India, and some of the instances they are maintaining in the US region. So now what will happen? While you are comparing with both the instances, the version number will be definitely there will be no, the version number is different for Indian region and US region. Why? In the sense, that's what actually we are going to see in this updates and all. So as a consultant, this is very important. Why? Because there will be some now let's say there is a bug detected in this 180 version of ending with 180. This got fixed in 182. In the version of 181, the bug has fixed. Now Indian region, the bug, let's say today we are in the Indian region and we are at 180. So today we are still able to see that particular bug. Why? Because it is not yet deployed or it is not yet applied that patch in our region. Whereas in the US region, if you take the US region, there is something, the patch already done last week. So that means they are earlier to us, 1 week, they will be 1 week ahead while compared to the Indian region. So why? In the sense, I will explain you clearly with the data centers and all. To make you understand, I just given the updates like there will be two major releases for every organization or for every tenant or instances. This is two major releases there will be there for every organization, and for every weekend there will be some minor releases. As I mentioned, the minor releases which you could see the difference here. For every week you can observe this one. And coming to this major releases, this is the wave one or wave two. This is the two things which you are going to see in your system. Here, if you open the settings and about section, here you could see wave two and wave one. This is the change which you can observe in your settings. This wave one and wave two are the two major releases for every organization, which you can see in your instances. Now, today let's discuss. This is what actually we are seeing in the yesterday's session to make you understand more, to familiar with this updates and all. So there will be some of this is like data center region. This is public facing document. And remember this one, for each and every topic, I'm going to share the Microsoft public facing documents. I won't suggest you or recommend you to go with some printed material, which is not that much good. Why? Because it's as you could see here, for every week there will be some minor releases, and for every year there is two major releases. If you are following the fixed printed material, you may be not getting the latest updates and all. I mean to say, now currently you are using some functionalities, and that printed material or whatever you are following, they have some steps, right? Maybe it got updated in wave one or wave two. So don't go with the printed material or fixed things like that. I'm going to share you the public facing documents that is from Microsoft website only based upon the topic I'm going to share you by end of each and every topic. So you can put that particular link with you with the topic name so that in the future, if there are any changes there, they are going to update that particular document only. So you will be up to date if you are following this Microsoft public facing documents. So please don't depend upon the printed materials or any type of other links and all. So just go with the Microsoft public facing documents, right? And this is just my suggestion. And later that's up to you. And this is the data center regions. This will help you to understand how the Microsoft is maintaining their servers and all. So if you see here, this is how the region. Now, if you see NAM, that is North American region, the URL will be crm.dynamics.com. If you take the IND, here it shows crm8.dynamics.com. Now, if you see our instance, this is our instance, right? Where is Power Platform Admin Center? Let me open our Power Platform Admin Center. As you know, the shortcut aka.ms/ppack. So if you want to see what is the data center, like what is the region where my tenant and my instances are there, so you can simply understand by seeing the URL as well. Or if you want to see what is the data center from environment. Here you could see the sales style. Just click on it. So this will provide you the information. Here it shows the region as India, right? Yesterday we are seeing all these topics, details. So here this is my environment URL. This is the URL, and this is the data center or the region where my instance is available in the India. And the URL also you could see, this is your name, crm8.dynamics.com. This is the format they are going to maintain. So that means by seeing the number in the URL, you should be able to understand. So which region my data center is available. Now let's say for North American region, it would be crm.dynamics, and GCC high and GCC where you could see something difference here. GCC is nothing but where you can't access the GCC domains outside US. The GCC is completely dedicated to the US government, where US government websites will be deployed or maintained in this GCC servers. That is, in the data center of GCC, there will be with the crm9.dynamics.com. And GCC high, this is more confidential for the US region, where you can access, you can see the instance as this way. I mean to say, while you are working with some of the clients, just to give you an example. So now let's say if you are working with one of the MNC like Infosys, if Infosys is offering the support to Microsoft, if you receive any ticket from this GCC, right? Even though you are a Microsoft employee, if you are sitting in India, you can't access their instances. So this can be accessed only in the US region. There is like high security. There is separate US government policies and all. If you want to explore, then you can explore it, but that's not that much required. So these data centers will help you to understand what are the data centers this Microsoft is providing. And by seeing the URL, you should be able to understand which region this is going to, this data center is available. I mean to say, no interviewer is going to ask you the question with this number and all, but this is just for your uh, knowledge. That's it, right? This is the data center, different data centers which we have. For each and everything here, if you see the GBR, UK region, CRM11, and UAE, United Arab Emirates, CRM15, this is the way they will maintain. And for each and every region, they will Microsoft will treat this as the stations. Stations is nothing but this is how it decides. Just this is totally the Microsoft internal purpose, but this information you should have this information. Why? Because while you are working with different customers with the different regions, this information, how Microsoft is performing in the backend, that you need to understand. Now let's take a simple, like Microsoft will follow that same. They will treat it as a train schedule, right? I mean to say, currently we are in 180 version, right? 180 version. How they will apply the updates in the backend in the sense, they will treat the releasing of patches or deploying in terms of train schedule. That means they will treat this as a station 1, station 2, station 3, 4, 5, and 6. Under station 1, this is only for opted in environments. That means now let's say I am the BMW company. Just I would like to have whatever the functionality released by Microsoft. In the first update itself, I need to have that updates. If I opt like that, if I opt, then I will be in the station 1, right? Otherwise, based upon your data centers, you will be allocated to different stations. Now, let's say I just created an account with the Indian region, right? Now, let's say India South. So I will be in the station 3, right? I will be in the station 3. Now, what will happen? Now, if there is any patchwork or if there is any new functionality, this applies for both the releases, major releases or minor releases. That means, as I said, wave 1 and wave 2 is two major releases, right? In the same way, for every weekend, there is some minor releases. Now, whenever they release a version number, whenever they release a patchwork, first it will be updated in station 1. And in the next week, it will move the same solution to station 2. That means, now let's say if I have a fix for one of the bug, in this week, maybe by 14th, just giving some use case scenario here. On this 14th, I will get the fix for the station 1 instances, right? But by 14th, I'm not going to get that solution in the station 2. In this region, if I am in this region, I'm not going to get that solution. And in the next week, by 21, the same solution which already deployed in the station 1 will be moved to the station 2. And here it will get another update. Getting my point? And in the station 3, it will be updated on 28th. That means from compared to the station 1 and station 6, if you have any update in the first week, the same update will be applied to the last station in the month end. Getting my point? This is how Microsoft maintain their train schedules. So you may ask the question like, do I need to have this information? Is it necessary while I'm working with the real-time projects? Yes. Why? Because now let's say the same example of BMW. Now BMW is working in US region and India region as well. Let's have this information. Let's try to have this use case scenario. Now let's say in the Canada, they have some of the users. So as per the train schedule, now let's say one of the user was trying to create a record and it is throwing an error, maybe the product bug. And you have raised a ticket to Microsoft. Many customers have raised a ticket to Microsoft and it fixed. So now what they done on 7th of March, they have applied the build on station 1 and they have suggested an expected fix that is ETA to the Canada region users. Like on 14th of March, you are going to get a fix to that issue. After 14th, on 15th, they have checked and it got fixed. But on 15th, on 15th, another employee from the BMW, which using in the Japan region, may not get that solution. So the customer comes up, whether one of my colleague, the same company, one of my colleague was able to see the fix in Canada region, but why I am not able to see in my account while I am working with this Japan region. So for that, you definitely need to check this version number. You need to compare what is the version number of the station 2 employee, that is the person who is working in the Canada region, and which instance he is working, and what is the version number of that particular instance. And you need to compare with the station 3. There will be definitely a version change. So that's the reason Microsoft has already fixed the issue in station 2, but it is not yet deployed in station 3. So as per the train schedule, that would be in the next week. That's how you need to understand or you need to analyze if there is any product related issues or not. So any questions on this? Why? Because if you are working with any customer, this is like major thing where we are as a consultant, you are missing these points. So this will create some unnecessary headache. That means there is nothing to troubleshoot from your end. Entirely, completely, this is a Microsoft product issue. You are doing random troubleshooting, you are following different steps and all, but you are not able to find the issue. Why? Because that is the issue with the product. You are just checking like, yes, in the Canada region that got fixed, but why not in my region, in my instance, right? So just to avoid the confusion here I said dev, QA, and UAT and production and all, right? So now what I will do for this particular production for the Indian region, the bmw.crm.dynamics.com is like US region for US customers. I will create one more production instance in this way, CRM8. This is in my Indian region. Now let's say this is the version of my Indian region, right? But the version of US region may be something different like this. Maybe some of the regions randomly picking. Right? This is how the version for the US region while compared to the Indian region. That's what you need to understand. You need to check what is the version number of your instance where you are working, where you are not able to see the error, right? That what is the version number of it? You need to compare with your version. So that's how you are able to find out or you are able to narrow down the issue there. So this is about the releases schedule. Just I'm placing these two links in the chat in the notepad so that please go through these notepads once you have a time there. So this is like data centers. This link will explain you how the Microsoft is maintaining the data centers and all, in which data center, which region will consume. That will be explained in this data centers links. And coming to the stations, here you could see the quality updates and all. This is how a station. And again, this is not only for Dynamics CRM or something like that. I mean, only not only for C. This is for entire C. Sorry, entire Dynamics 365. For both F&O and customer engagement, they will follow the same strategy. Right? This is about the data centers and their updates. And coming to this wave 1 and wave 2 release, that's also the same scenario. maybe in the month of wave one in the month of April, right? The April first week that will be applied in the station one, station two, station three, and so on. By first week, first station will be deployed with this wave one. Automatically, it will be upgraded. Even though you are opting for it or not, it will automatically update. By end of the April, throughout the globe, all the instances or all the environments will be updated with wave one. So yesterday we are discussing the same point. Now let's say I'm working with the same BMW. I have done some customizations to my system. So as per the client requirement, as you said, Dynamics 365 has a lot of functionality. Even though my client was not satisfied with the functionality, I mean to say they need extra functionality as per their business process and all. So that I have developed some customization. I have developed some new functionality. And your Microsoft is going to update release, major release like Wave 1. So whether these updates is going to affect my customizations or not, this is the question from developers. So to answer this thing, the Microsoft recommends that here in the Power Platform Admin Center, we have seen yesterday, right? So here you could see 2025 release wave one. So that means before April, now we are in the March. So this particular update is available from January last week or February first week. From Feb first week, you are able to see these updates. This we are going to call it as preview version. This we are going to call it as preview version. Let me add that point. Preview version is available from Feb first week. So this is for wave one. In the same way, preview version is available for wave two from September. This is for wave two. So why this is available in the sense? Now Microsoft suggests you to create new environment by taking a backup or copy of the production, right? So as you have the environment, you can create a trial account here. Simply here you can create a trial account, or you can take a copy of the existing account. So you can just they will suggest you to create a new environment and take a copy of the production. That means whatever the solution you have implemented, that will be taken as a test instance. You can take some, I mean to say, a duplicate instance with all the data or with all the functionality, whatever you have with the production, and they will suggest you to enable this particular update. So simply click on update, will enable this one, and it will provide you some user public facing document where it explains you what are the updates is available in 2025 release wave one, right? Here you could see features releasing from April 2025 through September 2025. Some of the documents you could see, and this will clearly mention like in which region they are going to have this updates and all. If you see here in the sales thing, in Dynamics 365 says they are bringing some power of automation, artificial intelligence. It is enhancing the artificial intelligence and all. This is how it will clearly explains you in which region they are going to implement new functionality and all. So with this, what actually the companies will follow in the month of in the Feb first week, they will enable this in the test instance and they will start testing the solution. And once the testing is done, if they found any errors, and if they feel that errors because of their customization, they will send it to the development team and they will fix the issue. And if they feel this is the issue because of Microsoft update and nothing in my code, then they will raise a ticket to Microsoft. Sorry. So here, every company actually, it's like regular process every year. So they will create a trial account. They will create a test instance with the copy of production, and they will enable this particular release wave one or wave two, and they will ask their testing tool to test the scenarios, right? So if they have any issue with the Microsoft releasing, they will raise a ticket and they will sort out the issues. But in my experience, because of this wave one or wave two, 98 or 99% there will be no issues. That means it is not going to affect you in any way. right? Only at the time of, I guess, in the year of 2016 or 17, we could see some major changes for whatever the code we are using and all. So in terms of JavaScript, I mean to say, to access the value on the form, they suggested something different, right? While discussing the JavaScript, I will explain you what actually the changes have they suggested from the Microsoft. But apart from that, till now there is no much changes. Almost 98 to 99%. You no need to make any changes to your applications at all, right? This is how that's how it works, right? If you are like for every releases, the if your developer wants to make many changes, then no one will prefer this Microsoft Dynamics here. So Dynamics CRM will take care of it. Microsoft will take care of it, and will release the wave one and wave two without affecting the existing customizations and all. So this is about the data centers and release schedules and all. So this is how the deployments happen, right? So you can refer it as release schedule. And till now you have seen like you able to see, you can understand like how this version numbers and what is updates and all. Now let's go something in depth into the Dynamics CRM. I mean to say, now let's say after getting an instance and all, I mean to say after getting a license, you have purchased the license and all. Here I just mentioned creating this instance. So how to create this instance? Let's try to understand. So to what will happen if I create an instance? Here I just simply mentioned I will create here this is how the instance will be created. And instance can be created from the Power Platform Admin Center, and click on this plus new button and all, right? So how you are going to create this instance? Let's see that part. So to create a trial account, you this is like important. You can also try this creating a trial account. After this class, you can create a trial instance, right? As I said, once you create a trial instance, let me take a new tab here. So here to create trial instance, as I said, you don't need to purchase any licenses for practice and all. You can create a trial instance. This will be available for 29 days. After 29 days, you can also extend it to another 20 days. That means almost 49 days the instance will be with you. So you can practice in the trial instance. So to start with this trial instance, you can simply go with uh, Dynamics 365 trial instance. So there is some challenges nowadays. The Microsoft is not providing that much trial instance. There is a lot of, I mean to say, challenges to create a trial instance, but you need to follow the thing which I'm going to explain to create a trial instance. So this is like a link. I'm going to paste this link in the chat. So you need to try this in from your end. This is like pre-trial where you are going to create an account. So in this trial account, here you could see don't select anything except this Dynamics 365 customer service. Just try for free. This one. You just go with Dynamics 365. This one, right? Customer service. And you need to provide your email ID, right? Here, here you just provide your email ID, and it will ask your mail and it will ask your phone number, right? And it's like regular thing. So you need to provide your address and all. Once this is done, the account will be created, and email and mail IDs, the configuration, I mean to say, the login details will be mailed to your email ID, right? Whatever the email you are going to provide. So it is like simple. You can try on your own. Why? Because I already applied. I already given all my mail IDs in the previous sessions. So, and I'm going to post you one YouTube link where how to create this trial account and all. There is some where it is. So after the class, I'm going to share you some YouTube link. That's that link will explain you how to create a trial account. That's not necessary. Actually, it's like just following the wizard, just providing your username, I mean, say your mail ID, your phone number and all. Once this is done, the account will be created. But don't go with the Dynamics 365 sales and all. Just to go with Dynamics 365 customer service. Remember this point. Some of you regularly, usually do the mistake. If you go with Dynamics 365 sales, you are not going to get all the applications. Just go with this Dynamics 365 customer service, this one, right? Once you go with this, you will get all the sales service, field service and all. So I will share you the YouTube link as well, where it will give you a step-by-step guidance how to create a trial account. So if there is any challenges in the creating a trial account, definitely there will be a challenges. As I said, that based upon the geolocations as well. If number of trial accounts is more for the quarter or for the month, how the Microsoft is maintaining, I'm not sure. But as per the previous batches, many of the students are not able to do. 40% of the students are able to create a trial account, but remaining people are not able to perform. But we'll see. Let's try before going through this thing. I mean to say alternate option. Just from your end, use your phone number or email ID and try to create a trial account. If you are not able to perform, no need of panic. I'm going to arrange you alternative for it, but I want you to try. Why it is compulsory in the sense? Now, if you applied for any jobs, nowadays some of the companies were asking you to create a trial account, or they are asking you to do some tasks in the trial accounts. So let's say they will ask you to create a table and create a process or create some relationship between the two tables. In that way, they are giving some tasks to you. So to perform that options, to if you want to complete that task, you should understand how to create a trial account. Without trial account, you can't create a task, right? You can't simply return them like I am not able to create a trial account. That's not going to help you. So first try from your end. If you are able to create it or not, then we'll see what to be done in the next step. We will see. So my suggestion is like just to create a trial account by using this Dynamic 365 customer service, right? So once this is done, once the trial account is done, so you should be in the you need to access the instance from by using the Power Platform Admin Center, admin.powerplatform.microsoft, and you will be landed in this particular page. And in this environments, you just need to create a new environment there. So what actually we need to understand to create a new environment? While creating a new plus new button, simple, choose a name. Let's say D365 March. Of course, it won't allow me to create. Why? Because a space issue. Trial account you can have only 1 GB, so it occupies. The name you should provide the name, and group. If you want to provide any security group, you can go with. But currently there is no security group. It is not mandatory. I'm ignoring. And region, you could see what is the region you are going to select. Even though my tenant is in Indian region, you can also select your region. So if you select the region, what will happen? If it is India, by default, the currency will be rupee. If you want to go with US, current UAE, it will take their currency something, right? You can select the region and the type of the instances which you need to understand. What are the types of instances? There is like different types of instances. Let me have some information to you. What are the types of instances we have? We have developer, trial account, sandbox, trial subscription based, and production. These are the types of instances we have. So why the types is required in the sense in the deployment process we have seen, right? There is some dev, QA, UAT, production and all. So for some of the instances, there will be some of the for some of the types there is some flexibilities there. For the developer, you know the API calls and API limits and all. So for the costing and all, there is some limited API calls or some limited resources is available for the types. For each and every type, there is some limited thing. For the production, you will get the full-fledged access or full-fledged functionality for the instances and all. So these are the different types you have. For the dev instance, usually we will go with this developer instance. For the trial, as I said, if you want to test this wave 1 or wave 2, the company would like to test the solution of wave 1 and wave 2. They can simply create this trial account. And sandbox, which you can use for the UAT, for testing purpose, you can create the sandbox instance. So that means it will not have much chance to create the records, or I mean to say create customizations and all. Sandbox is just to showcase the data, to see the data where you can do some testing process. So there is some limitations with the sandbox and trial subscription based. And if you want to test the wave 1 or wave 2, and this trial should not be like 29 days or not. So you want to have a certain period, you can go with trial subscription based, right? And production, as you know, this is like ultimate. It has all the features where the end users are using this production. These are the different types of environments, different types of environment which you can create from the Power Platform Admin Center. Now, in your case, just to go with this trial, this while you are creating After creating the account with the dynamic CRM trial account, just go with this trial. Don't go with another one. Why? Because you can't create another with your free trial version. Trial and purpose, just whatever the description you have given, like it is for dev purpose, it is for testing purpose, whatever the you can enter the purpose there. Add a data store. What does it mean? Dataverse, you could see the Dataverse here in the back screen. Dataverse, yes, in the sense it will create some database. It will create some database for you. But for now, it may not allow me to create, but let me try. Why? Because it's some space limitation, as I said. Click on next, and you need to select what is the language you would like to prefer. So what is the base language and what is the base currency? So you need to check this one. And regarding the security group, yesterday I have given some basic understanding of security group, right? So what type of user should access this particular instance? So if I go with none, that means all the users who has the proper license can access my instance. Otherwise, if I give some other security group like November 24, 2024, then the user should be a member of this November 2024. Then only that user can access my instance, right? So we'll create the security groups later. You can understand. So for now, there is no security. Up to now, we have not discussed the security group concept. So let me go with none here. That means any user from the instance can create my security group, right? If you want to have some custom domain, you can also take some custom domain here. In this way, you can also require enter a valid domain. You can go with some custom domain. I mean to say, if you want to have some your name or your company's name, you can have some custom domain. Otherwise, you can simply ignore the dynamic CRM itself will automatically give some random domain and all. Enable Dynamics 365 app. This will be enabled only if you have an account. I mean to say with the paid account, right? What will happen if you enable this one? Sales, customer service, everything will be automatically installed in your system. So that means the required database also will be installed in your system if you are enabling it, right? So deploy sample data. That means like some dummy data will be automatically installed in the system. Click on save. I hope it will throws you an error for us. Why? Because the license assigned to this user do not allow a trial environment, create a production environment to continue. So this is like sort of where capacity constraints, where you don't have much capacity. That's the trial account where you can't create. But if you are taking a new trial account, this is not your scenario. As there is no instances, you can happily, it will allow you to create an instance. This is what you need to follow. This just the two steps there. Creating an environment is like pretty much easy, just following this UI screen, where you need to give the name and all, and whatever the mandatory fields, region and type you need to select as a trial, and data was data store, yes, and language and currency, as simple as that. In the trial account for the first environment, this will be enabled. In addition to Power Apps, you can go with yes. If it is enabled, you can go with yes. If it is for your first environment you are creating, then it will show as enabled. If it is there, you can go with it, right? So here, while creating an environment, so the things which you need to consider is the base language. In the interview perspective, they will ask the question like base language and base currency. What is this base language and base currency? Whatever the languages you are selecting here while creating this instance, here you are selecting the languages, right? This is nothing but your base language. And whatever the currency you are selecting, this is your base currency. Once you create an instance, you can't change the base currency in future. So it is like fixed. You can't change the base language or you can't change the base currency. But there is a chance where if the users are log in from different regions with the different languages and different tradition and different currencies and all, right? So they can change their personal settings. That option is available in Dynamics here. I mean to say now base currency is in the INR. So now if any user is logging from US, they also see the revenue in INR. So that is something little bit confusion for them, right? For that, to avoid that one, there is an option in the Dynamics CRM where they can change their personalization settings, right? Here, this is the personalization settings. This UI introduction part, again, I'm going to come to this window. Here, the formats, they can change their currencies there. If they want to go with the United States, for them, it will automatically convert to the currency as USD. Uh, so it will automatically show in their region. So, but the base currency, what is base currency and base language? Base currency and base language is nothing but whenever you are creating an environment or instance, whatever the language or currency you have selected, that is going to be your base currency. So the interviewer may ask the question like, can I change my base currency? No. The answer is no. The interviewer may ask these type of questions, whether I can change language or currency. The answer should be no. Then the interviewer may ask, I am not aware of English. I want to use the another Portuguese language. So then how I can work? So for that, there will be two types of settings. One is like system settings and one is like personal settings. System settings is nothing but your administrator will set the settings, whatever the base currency set by system admin, that will be the universal. If you want to have in the different language, you can change your personal settings. That's how you need to answer to the interviewer, right? This is the trial instance. To create a trial instance, this is the link, as I said. And while creating a trial account, the type you need to select the type as trial. Go with this. And base language and base currency, you need to select the base language and base currency, maybe currency INR, USD, that's up to you. Once this is done, the instance will be ready. So once this is done, it will take hardly 2 to 3 minutes. It will show the status as processing here. Once this processing within 2 to 3 minutes, it will show the ready. Once this is ready, you can click here, the instance, this is the organization URL. So as I said, you can simply click on this organization URL so that you can see this organization URL. Here, if you see, if you are not able to remember this organization URL, here that's what I mentioned in the previous thing. You can simply log in. You can use this login.microsoft online, so that with your username and password, the system will automatically take you to your instance. This is how the instance can be logged in. So now you know like what is how to create a trade account. Just I mean to say I have provided a link for you. Just providing the email ID or phone number will help you to create a trade account. Once it is done, you can navigate to the Power Platform Admin Center. That is this one, aka.ms/ppack. This is admin center where you need to log in and you need to create an instance. This is like step-by-step thing, right? And types you need to select this one and base language and all. With this, the instance will be created, right? This is regular where you are using from the UI part. But as a consultant, as you need to do some deep dive into the Dynamics CRM. So what will happen in the backend? So you are using like UI based thing. You are not doing any code or any script to create an instances. It's like just you are playing with the screen, whatever it shows, plus new button and creating an instances and selecting the options and all. So as a consultant or as an engineer, Dynamics CRM engineer, you need to understand what is happening in the backend, right? For any instances or for any application, there should be some, definitely there should be a database, right? So that in the database, we are maintaining the data or not. So let's explore how it is going to happen in the backend. This is very important to understand how the system is behaving or how the Microsoft is maintaining. So for everything, as you know, for everything, the database is mandatory. So here, whenever you are creating an environment, so what will happen in the backend? It will create database. Here, it will create two DBs. I'm just referring as DB, that is database. Let me write down. Two databases will be created in the backend. So the interviewer may ask, once I create an instance, what do you know about database? How the Microsoft is maintaining? The answer is the two DBs will be created in the backend. You may ask like, for every application or solution, one database will be sufficient, and one database is like expected thing. Why two database? Why the Microsoft is creating two databases here? Right? To make you understand. Now let's say, so before to it, what is the database and what is the format of it? So now, whenever you are creating a database, the first database name will be organization name underscore MSCRM. This is your first database, and the other one is MSCRM underscore config. This is how the two databases will be created. Now, let's say in our case, we are creating a instance for BMW. Let's try to take this example. For this BMW underscore MS config. So this is how the Microsoft will create a database for it. Sorry, MSCRM. This is right. And the second database is MSCRM underscore config. In the same way, I may have one more customer, like Yaksha IT is one of the customer using the Dynamics CRM. Let's assume. Now, YIT underscore, once I create an instance for Yaksha IT, this is how the databases will be created in the backend. For each and every customer, this is how the dynamic CRM will maintain the database. That means the format for the interviewer, whenever in the interview the interviewer asks the question, the two databases will be created in the backend. The format will be organization name underscore MSCRM and MSCRM underscore config. So on each and every topic, I'm going to cover the interview questions, like how the interviewer is going to ask the questions in this topic. So please try to add those points in your separate notes and all, right? So here, these are the two types of database. Now the question is, why two databases is required? So what is going to maintain in these two databases? So in organization name underscore MSCRM, it will maintain all the data. It will maintain all the data. So what is data? Data is nothing but, now let's say I'm going to have some sales thing, right? Or some student management system. Let's take, I'm maintaining some student data, student number, student name, address. This all everything is in the table. There will be a lot of students information, that is data. So now for any table, if we have the data, that all the data will be maintained, will be stored in this organization name underscore MSCR. Then why this by MSCRM underscore config? In the sense, it will maintain all the configuration data. It will maintain all the configuration. So what do you mean by configuration here? The configuration is nothing but, now let's say I want to create some users. That users information will maintain in this MSCRM. And if I want to implement some security roles or security concepts, that will be stored in the MSCRM. Now, if I want to see when the user has logged in, or security user logs and all, that will be stored in this MSCRM. This configuration information, everything will be stored in the MSCRM config file. Config database. This is how the database will be maintained in the backend. Getting my point? So that means whenever you are creating an environment, that means, now let's say if you create a dev instance, for that the separate database, for UAT separate database, in that way it will create an instances there. So one database will not be available for all the environments. Remember this point, right? So for each and every instance or the environment you are creating, in the backend it will create two databases. This is the format of the databases. And first one, it will maintain all the data. Second one, it will maintain the configuration data, like user security logs and all, right? So this is about the databases in the backend, in depth, like how the database looks like and whether we have the access to the database. Can we have the touch points to the database? Will Microsoft allows us to interact directly with the database or not? This everything will be discussed in the coming sessions or not. Yeah, it's 9:50. Yeah, that's it from my end for today. And the today task would be, please go through the trial instance. Try to create a trial instance. I'm going to add the YouTube link here as well. And by following the YouTube, try to create a trial account. Why? Because maybe from couple of days later, maybe after 2 to 3 days, you are going to get some regular tasks where you need to have some hands-on to get hands-on experience. So you need to, it is mandatory for you to have the trial instance. Try to create the trial instance. If you are able to create, that's fine. If not, don't panic. I will make you arrangements. But my suggestion or my recommendation is do some R&D, or I mean to say, try to create. It's like simple, only providing username and password. By end, if it is not providing, that's not your mistake. The Microsoft is regulated, where there is limited trials accounts there. That we can't do. But if you are not able to create, please put some screenshots in the chat so that I can understand you, at least you tried it. Why? Because in the interview process and all, as I said, some of the tasks will be assigned to you before getting to the technical rounds. In the first round itself, they will mail you some of the tasks and ask you to complete the task and send it over the mail. By seeing the task, they will schedule the technical rounds. That type of interviews are also happening nowadays. As we are processing regular candidatures from the institute, we are seeing this from last 1 year. So prepare for it as well. So if you have some touch points, if you have the trial account, you can at least explore an hour per a day, so that you will be familiar with the instances and all. Why? Because if you are not having the trial account, if you are depending on your colleagues or friends, there may be some authentication issues. I mean to say, whenever you are logging to the account, some code will be sent to their mobiles. You need to call them and get the code and all. So in order to avoid all these things, just try to create an account on your phone. And so these two sessions, regarding these two sessions, please let me know if you have any questions on yesterday's or day before yesterday's or today's session. If you are able to ask the questions now, that's fine. If not, you can also ping in the WhatsApp group. Yeah, that's it from my end. Please let me know if you have any questions. Okay. I will take the silence as no questions and we'll wind up the session for today and we'll continue the session in the tomorrow's class at sharp 9 a.m. Thank you all.
Hi, sir. Hi, sir.
Yes, please.
Hi, sir. Can you send the data centers link in
Yeah,
the
everything I placed in the notepad, Sairab.
notepad, but can you send it in the chat box, sir?
So are you available in the WhatsApp group, Sairab?
Yeah, I'm available.
Okay, I will share in the chat as well. But usually it would
Just
be in
only
the
the
notepad.
data,
Yeah, sure, no issue. I will share that link for you. No issue, you can go
just
through.
only data center link only.
Yes, I will share it. Yeah, apart from it, any questions, please let me know.
Yeah, hi Suresh, good morning.
Yeah, hi.
Suresh, here I'm getting confused between the terminology of environment and instances because sometimes we are using a terminology of instance and sometimes creation of environment. So is
Yeah,
both the terminology same or both places a different role? Because since yesterday I'm hearing that you are
yeah.
combining both the terminology.
Usually what happened in the real time, it's nothing much difference. But if you want to differentiate the environment and instances, it is nothing but in the environment. Now, let's say this is my environment where I could see all the applications here in one place. This is my environment, right? If I'm creating another environment with only one application, like sales hub application, right? Only with the sales hub and no other applications is available there. That is going to be your instance, right? So, but in the real time, that is not much difference. But to differentiate, this is the only difference. In the environment, we are going to have different applications and different solutions. But if you are targeting only one solution or one application, that is going to be your instance. Got it?
Yeah, Suresh, you mean to say like environment is a bucket and instances is a particular parts in an environment, right?
Exactly. Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Al. So let's wind up the session for today and we'll continue in the tomorrow session. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please ping me in the WhatsApp group. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you.